What's up, guys? Josh from Efficient Pickup. Today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about how to be dominant and charismatic with a girl regardless of how hot she is. So this was kind of something that I struggled with when I was first getting into learning how to deal with girls. Is I would go up to a girl if she was really hot. What I would do is I'd kind of try and play it safe and try and impress her and make her like me. And invariably that always made it blow out, made her be like, I want nothing to do with you, get the fuck away. As I got better with dealing with girls, I got better at dealing with attractive girls, more attractive girls, girls who were like 9s or 10s, that sort of thing. And looking back on it now, I realize it's because I tried to impress them and I tried to fucking put up this front and that sort of thing. And they could immediately sense that and they were like put off by that sort of thing. So nowadays, like what I'll do fairly commonly is I'll go around the club, I'll see like the most attractive girl, go up to her, I'll end up pulling her home and banging her. And I wanted to talk about how I do that and how you can do that as well. So one of the things that guys typically do is when they see an attractive girl is they think they need to act differently. They need to act better. They need to be like on their best behavior. They need to be the best possible. And unfortunately, these attractive girls have to deal with this shit day in and day out. Like when they're out in the club, when they're out on the street, they have guys who come up to them and they're like, I'm extremely rich, or my dick is like 100 inches long, and blah, 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 blah. And they've heard it all before. They know it's fake. They've been dealing with this shit since they were like fucking 16. They reached puberty and they started becoming attractive. They had to deal with this sort of attention. So what you need to understand is these girls are just regular fucking girls. They're like every other girl that's out there. And you need to treat them as such. So now when I go out, when I see a really attractive girl, obviously my dick's like, holy shit, I want to pound the fuck out of her. And my brain's like, holy shit, I want to pound the fuck out of her. So we're like, hello, what's up? I'm Josh, what's your name? But the entire time I'm doing that, I'm not treating her any differently than I would any other girl. Because she's not any different than any other girl, with the exception that she's very attractive. And aside from that, there's no real difference. And that confidence that you have when you talk to an attractive girl can take some time to build up. But I think I can help you shortcut and get there sooner by just understanding that they will respond almost like as positively as other girls, or sometimes even more positively, if you go up and treat them like you would a regular girl. They're so tired of being treated special, different, etc., that it's actually refreshing to them when you go up and you treat them like a regular fucking girl. So I've actually found, like at this point in my game, I found that like 6s or 7s, like when I'm winging for a friend, will put up more of a front or be more of a bitch and not respond as positively as 9s or 10s will to the same fucking shit that I'm doing. And that's because those 6s and 7s are so used to being hit on by like every single guy they come across. I'm sure, like right now it's November 2014. On the internet right now there's this viral video of some girl who's like a 6 or 7. There's a girl who I wouldn't fucking bang walking around the streets of New York for 10 hours and she has like guys constantly hitting on her like, yo, what's up girl, smile, or yo, what's up, can I get your number? And she's just like, not interested, not interested, not interested. And that's because she gets that every fucking day. Girls who are really hot surprisingly don't get that as much. Like a lot of guys are too afraid to approach. They think she's out of my league, I'm not even gonna try. So you have that girl with the fucking curly frizzy hair and the dumpy body who like if I hooked up with, I'd have to hide it from my friends, like that sort of thing. She's getting hit on more than the girl who's like a 9 or a 10. And a lot of times I have students who come up and like we go in and I have them go approach girls who are of that caliber, or extremely attractive, like everyone in the club's looking at them. They're really hesitant to actually hit on that girl, and they can't be like confident or dominant when they hit on that girl. And that's because they think that she's special or she's different, when in reality that's not the case at all. So one of the things that I do to get like entitlement, which is the feeling of like that you deserve that girl or that you could get that girl if you tried, is to just treat them like you would any other girl, like a 6 or a 7, and you'd be surprised how well they respond. A lot of guys can't do that right off the bat though. So what I tell them is this simple statement. It's called fake it till you make it. So although you may never have actually hooked up with a girl who's like a 9 or a 10, if you're talking to them, they can't tell that if that's not the front that you put out. If the way that you talk to them is the same as if, like, yeah, I fuck 9s and 10s all the time, they have no possible way of differentiating between you and some guy who actually does. Because there are guys out there who are banging 9s and 10s consistently and have them on their rotation. And those guys, when they go up to a 9 and a 10, they aren't off-put by their fucking attractiveness. They're not concerned, they're not worried, it doesn't faze them. They're able to talk to them person to person. And that sort of thing is the thing that makes them attracted to them. They recognize, yeah, I'm attractive, he knows I'm attractive, but he's not off-put by it, he's not nervous by it, he's able to hold a conversation, have a conversation, flirt with me, make jokes, do all sorts of shit like that without worrying about if he's giving a good impression to her. Or, yeah. So, one of the things I say is, like, fake it until you make it. So when you go up to that girl, pretend as if you are that guy who has pulled 9s and 10s consistently. And that sort of thing will show from the way you carry yourself, the way you hold yourself, the way that you talk to them. And they'll respond just as they would to someone who does bang 9s and 10s consistently. And what ends up happening, and this is the same thing that happened for me, it's happened to a ton of my friends and students as well, is once they go up, they act like that initially, and the girl responds to it. They end up pulling them home and banging them. And they do that a few times, they actually become the guy who is banging 9s and 10s on a regular basis. And so that's where the fake it until you make it comes into play. Because they're acting as if they're banging 9s and 10s, and the 9s and 10s are responding just as well. And so they start banging 9s and 10s. They become the guy who actually does that on a regular basis, and it just becomes natural. It becomes ingrained into who you are. So I hope this has been helpful to you. And as always, if you have any questions, you know how to get a hold of me. I'm on efficientpickup.com, seductionmindhackslive.com, and I hope to hear from you soon. Thanks. All right. If you're interested in hearing more about this, click the link below to check out myself seducing women on hidden camera footage and have me break it down step by step for you so you can try it out yourself on seductionmindhackslive.com.